in Texas. I just hate doing it. Votes for every one of them. Listen to the latest comment on the brilliant guru from Ruston, Louisiana. Listen to this.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10. I'm in.
I'm in. I vote for every tax. I vote for a penny, 2 pennies, 4 pennies, property taxes, business taxes. I'm in. Rob Shadwell, he's in. Let's hit it again, Brian. I just want people to remember this. This is a Republican out of Ruston. Lord help us if that guy sticks around. But listen to old Rob. I hate raising taxes. This sounds like a guy who hates raising taxes. Listen.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10. I'm in.
Rob is in, baby. Hey, Rob, we knew you were in. Hey, Rob, you don't have to show us how your ignorance anymore. We know you are in. Your ignorance is out there, brother. There's no doubt about it. I vote for anything.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10. I'm in.
I'm in. And by the way, he stopped it right there, Brandon, saying I'm in because he could have. I vote for a penny. I can vote for 2 pennies. I can vote for slamming businesses. I can vote for getting rid of more businesses out of Simsboro. If there's any more businesses there, we'll beat the hell out of them too. Rob Shadwell, Republican ignorance right there. Anyway, great to have you with us. Open Forum Fridays. You can tell, pumped up, and that is the start. That guru or Goonie bird right there, that's the start. Then, by the way, there's old Representative Mark More Taxes Abraham. Mark More Taxes Abraham. He's been pushing all over the floor. I'm for half a cent, and he voted for the half cent. They had a 0.04, and I disagree with it. So they bring that to the floor, and they amend it and go to a half a cent, and they only get 60 votes. But your boy, Mark More Taxes Abraham, who will vote for more taxes like Rob Shadwell. I'm More Taxes Abraham. Mr. Half Cent, as I like to call him, too. Half cent, penny, it don't matter. He voted for the penny, he voted for the half cent. It doesn't matter. It's like Rob Shadwell, he voted for the penny. Still goes back to raising taxes, y'all. When he came here and told me, when he came here and told me, we got him now. And I looked at him and said, no, they got you. Let me give you an example of the most disturbing thing, and I need to pull this up a second, that I want y'all to follow. This ought to disturb everybody, especially Republicans, what's going on in the and what's really going down with this. Remember, a few times on this program I have mentioned John Alario.
Just a few.
A couple of 3 anyway, huh, Brandon? Would it be safe to say more than 3?
More than 3. Way more than 3.
And I explained to y'all he's the problem. Let me find this real quick, and I apologize. I meant to pull this up before.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10. I'm in.
I'm in. Let me see if I can find this. This is what I want everybody to focus on. Now, this is what I try to tell. Raising taxes, y'all. He didn't have a clue. Still doesn't have a clue. And Mo Money Abraham, Mark, Mo Money Abraham, Mo Taxes Abraham, he has no clue either. This is what I meant. Yesterday, Senate Concurrent Resolution 6, which Senator Morrell and Alario filed, aimed at Thursday's chaos. Okay, here's what it would do. Folks, this is unconstitutional. This is it may be Louisiana, but it's un-American what John Alario is trying to pull here. I want you to listen to me. And by the way, they can do it as long as they do it constitutionally, and it's dead. But if they try to go around and they try to draw in Butch Spears to agree that they only need a majority vote, here's what they filed, okay? It would extend the 1 cent until August of 2019, which for you people in Balkanville, that's not this August, next August. 14 more months, probably bring in an extra $600 and $700 million more than the $500 million Bell Edwards wants. And here's what they're saying. They're saying it only requires a majority vote. Now, the Constitution says for taxes it's 2/3 of a vote. That 2/3 vote that David Vitter, that we ran out of Dodge because of this honor code crap and this co-governorship we got. He's the one got this passed with, along with some other people, that it takes 2/3 of a vote in the House and Senate to pass taxes and fees. We are being saved by that right now. And the other big thing was we didn't put Walt Legal Leger in as Speaker of the House. We put Taylor Barra. We would be run over in a GDP that's fallen, and I'm predicting it'll fall again this year. It's got to, if we're going to keep doing this kind of crap. House Resolution 6, Concurrent Resolution 6. If you're not calling your senator like the weak Page Coco Cortez, Ron Ridiculous Gaddy, John Milk the Taxpayers Milkovich, Mike Clutch Walsworth, don't call Francis Defeat Thompson. That's a waste of your time. John Alario is a waste of your time. If they pass that out of the Senate, okay, the senators politically should all die politically, but some of them are term limit don't care. You think that Ronnie Casino Johns cares? He got his votes. The senators could really screw us. If they go and pass this with a majority vote and it goes to the courts, they did this with Bobby Jindal, and the courts doesn't look at it for 6 months. You know what the courts are going to rule? Well, we would mess up the budget if we don't let this go. There'll be $600-700 million for Bell Edwards to go buy votes. Then when they put all that in the budget, they're gonna come back and go, well, you know, we just want to fund what we have, and we gotta have it, folks. Senate Concurrent Resolution 6, which will keep the penny for 14 more months. That's illegal. It's unconstitutional. It's un-American. It's right there in the Constitution. And they're trying to figure out a way to run this down our throat. And they can't do it unless Republicans vote for it. Then they got to move it to the House, where they only need 53 votes. That's about 10 to 13, depending on what the independents do, of Republicans voting for this. Now, I want to know what Republicans are going to support this. This is a John Alario deal, a guy that's destroying us daily. And this is a bill, folks. You seen this in the newspaper today? If you read it, you better have read every paragraph, because it's at the bottom. This right here ought to scare. This is why Louisiana's not winning. John Alario, Morrell, Bell Edwards, Jay Dardenne, it's why we're losing. It's why people are leaving. It's why we're out migrating. I want to win. I want to do what Trump says. I want to win so much, I'm going to hate winning. Why don't we try it once? So here's the deal. If you're not calling your people and calling your businesses and calling your friends, there's nobody that wants to. I want you to think about this, Brandon. With the 2/3 vote, which we need to have, they would run over us and run over us and run over us. Two things happen. A 2/3 vote to pass taxes and fees and Taylor Barra to Speaker of the House. Now, Taylor's giving in on some stuff I wouldn't have gave in. But at least it's not Walt Legal Leger, who would be destroying this state with no problem. And I'm telling you, folks, this House Concurrent Resolution number 6, if you're not calling these weak, wimpy senators, and you're not calling them and say, you better not vote for this. You better not vote for this. And it's not going to do a threat. Just promise them that you will beat them at the polls. We got to get some people to beat these people like Cortez that gets to walk around, because what's that group? Louisiana Blueprint Louisiana, whatever they do. Groups like that support Cortez. And so there's plenty of money for them. I'm trying to explain something here. I want it to be calm, but I can't, because this is the kind of stuff pulled by Senate President John Alario, and it's constitutional. Listen, folks, think about that. I'm going to do this very simple, not for our side, but for the other side. If it takes 2/3 vote to pass a tax, and they pass the sales tax, that raising taxes, y'all voted for it, and not only that, Stuart Bishop and the rest of them voted for it. He pulled his bill, by the way, yesterday. He pulled his bill because he was getting slapped. He pulled his bill not because of an income, not because of the new sales tax with the internet. He pulled the bill because the people here are beating him up politically. And he wants to be the next Speaker of the House. If that's the next Speaker of the House, Lord have mercy, I'm the next governor. John Alario is pulling one of the slickest things ever if we allow it. Listen to me. It takes a 2/3 vote. Now, I want you to think about this. If it took a 2/3 votes to pass the tax, how can it only take a majority to keep it for 14 more months than it originally was supposed to run for? How does this take all of a sudden a majority vote? And Butch Spears from the House is rallying with the Senate to say, yeah, we might could do this. Let's figure out how to get this done. And then that way, your voice and my voice is totally taken away because there's enough liberal Democrats and independents like D. Richard who keep voting for this crap. I don't know why D. Richard is voting for this. And I'm just telling you what's going on, folks. Senate Concurrent Resolution 6. I mean, you need to tell your senators, who are the most liberal bunch of Republicans I've ever seen in my life. And the Republicans on this side, I know Rob Shadwan's going to vote for because he'll vote for anything. Just send it to him. He don't give a flip. That's Shadwan.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10. I'm in.
And I already proved I voted for the penny. You think Ryan Gaddy's going to vote right, folks? No, he's not. Ryan Gaddy and Milkovich are not going to vote right. They don't want to vote right. Oh, when it comes to life and pro-life, yeah, they're right there with us. But we want them with us together. Not just for the easy votes for them. So they can run back to the church and say, well, let me show you what I did. Senate Concurrent Resolution 6 that you're not reading about, is this is the slick stuff they do, is why Louisiana is last. And John Alario can kiss my... Let's take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10. I'm in.
Rob Shadwa is in, baby. Woo! Ray Rob, you don't have to tell us. We got your voting record. It proves it every time there's a vote. Anyway, folks, once again, I mentioned, welcome back to the program. I just can't, this, tax bills come out the House. This one's resolutions coming out the Senate. Takes 2/3 of vote. This is constitutional. There's no reason for a Republican to vote for this. Not even a Democrat. This is what you do when you're a deal maker and a deal cutter and you help destroy the state. Our state is so much better than this. And yet we act like we're so stupid it's not even funny. They're going to come up with a resolution. Think about this. Special session. Regular session. Special session. Special session. Okay? They don't have the votes to keep growing the hell out of government. They got the votes to grow it some, but not as much as the governor wants. So here comes Morrell, a liberal leftist from New Orleans, John Alario, a liberal leftist who's now Republican. They're going to keep the whole dang penny. No, now even Mo Taxes Abraham, even Mo Taxes Abraham, who's been pushing the half penny, can't vote for the 1 cent. Can he? Rob Shadwan, we understand. He's in.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10. I'm in.
And he's in. How can there not be 27 people not want to run against that guy? You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing. Simply amazing. Amazing. And I just, it's so frustrating. So here it is. Tell you one more time. Senate Concurrent Resolution 6. Trying to go around everything that's ever happened. Coming from the Senate. Butch Spears is over there working with them. Last night, the half-cent sales tax, not Stuart Bishop's bill, because he pulled his, but it was a half-cent working with the governor. Okay? The bottom line is that was pulled, but they hijacked the .04, which I totally disagree with, and put it at a half cent. And it got beat. It only got 60 votes, folks. 60 votes. So let's think about this. They can't get a half. They couldn't get the third. So John Alario and somebody looking at this thing said, hey, John. Or John looked at it and said, hey, guys, I got a way we can do this. We can go around the process. We can go around the Constitution. We can go around decency and moral way of doing things. We can go around the right way to do things. We can beat the taxpayers again. All I need is a majority of you Republicans to come with us, and a majority of about 10 to 12 Republicans in the House, all the Democrats. And we can beat everybody back, and we got 14 more months of a 1-cent sales tax. This is the games this is the compromise. This is courage. This is Bell Edwards is running a commercial. Courage to compromise. This is compromise. You can't get your way. So you take a House concurrent resolution, a Senate concurrent resolution, and you shove it down the taxpayer's throat. This is the governor-led. I guarantee the governor would accept this. I guarantee you Jay Darden would accept this. And this is what's going to happen. The people in the press, the media, the print media especially, they're going to run with, well, they had to do it. This is what we had to do because we got a minority of Republicans that aren't coming along with the game that we're in. This concurrent resolution by John Alario is, how bad can we keep fooling the people that are staying here? How bad can we keep tripping up, stabbing in the back the businesses and the people that live here and the people that work here? That's what this concurrent resolution is all about. How bad can we fool them? We got the media on our side. Most of the media, especially the print media, is what I'm talking about mostly. TV stations, they come do an interview. They don't even know what the hell they're interviewing. Oh, Mr. Alario, what does this mean? John, okay, thank you. Well, Mr. Alario, he's been there for 432 years. He's been one of the leaders, the magician, the adult in the room. The adult in the room. I tell you what, they keep saying what Trump's done to kids. You look what John Alario's doing to all of us. And there's Jay Darden and Jay Darden and old Bell Edwards sitting there just laughing, going, hey, we're going to get our money and more. $600 to $700 million more than they're asking for. Your comments are questioned, folks, because if you're not calling your senators and representatives now, they'll run over you and never even worry about it. Got to take a break. We'll be right back.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline if you'd like to be part of the program. We'll jump gears just for a few minutes. Brian Bond joins us with SWEPCO. Brian, first of all, good morning, and I guess congratulations, because I saw what the Public Service Commission on a 4-1 vote voted in favor of what y'all were hoping to get.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you, Moon, and to the audience. We had a very exciting week for the Windcatcher project, and on Wednesday, the Louisiana Public Service Commission voted to approve the project, recognizing the value that it was going to bring, $1.3 billion in value over a 25-year period to our customers. And what I appreciate most is just all of the community support, our mayors, city government officials, and customers, and chambers of commerce that weighed in and contacted the commission and let them know that they were wanting to move toward some renewables in the generation portfolio that we have, and they listened and made, I think, a very good decision, which we're very appreciative of. Yeah,
I knew y'all would be. Just real quick, Brian, what's the time frame on this being up and running?
The project is scheduled to come up and start running January 1st of 2021.
Okay.
And so we still have to get approval in Texas. Got a meeting scheduled there with the commissioners on July the 12th, and then in Oklahoma, July 2nd, the Oklahoma Corporation Commission, the commissioners will hear a settlement agreement that we reached on July 2nd and 3rd. So we've got 3 of the 5 approvals we need. We received Arkansas approval. We received the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission approval on June 8th, and then, of course, on the 20th, we got the LPSC approval. So we'll get through these, hopefully the next 2 commissions, and once that we'll be able to start construction, and within a couple-year period, we'll have that power line that's going to bring the power from western Oklahoma to our customers in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas.
So that's about 3 years, correct?
That's right, with 2019 and 20. So about 2 years and about 2.5 years.
Okay, 2.5 years. All right. So I guess now y'all just go to work to do whatever else you need to do, and the citizens just got to wait, and when it all happens, it happens, I guess.
That's right. We'll hopefully once we get there, if we get the approvals, which we think we will, we'll start construction, and then in the meantime, we'll be continuing to provide service and working with our existing generation fleet to do that in a cost-effective way. But we'll be able to deliver savings starting right out of the chute in 2021 to our customers, on average around 5% in Louisiana.
If people want to keep up with y'all on what's taking place, is there a website or something they can go or read about more as over the next 2.5 years as this gets closer?
Yes, sir. There certainly is. They could go to SWEPCOWindFacts.com. That's SWEPCOWindFacts.com, and we'll be providing information and updates over the next couple of years until the project comes online.
All right, Brian. Wish you the best of luck. I hope it works out like y'all said it will.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a good day.
All right, Brian Bond, SWEPCO. All right. Thanks for the call. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. Open Forum Friday, 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. We are joined by someone to maybe give me some sanity back. It is U.S. Senator John Kennedy, Louisiana's own. I need to talk to somebody to settle me down some, Mr. Kennedy. I hope you can do that for me.
Yeah, I've been listening to you, Moon. You're passionate today, man.
Well, John, one of the things I started with was through the Senate and all of this tax fiasco we're going with here. John Alario and Morrell has come up with a Senate concurrent resolution 9 that will help them keep the 1 cent sales tax for 14 more months, and all they got to have is a majority vote, which, by the way, that part of it's not right. It's a 2/3 vote. The Constitution is very clear, but this is something they're trying to do to run around the backside. I'm sure Bill Edwards will be glad to take any money, which would give him probably $600-700 million more than maybe $500-600 million more than what he's saying he needs. So just your thoughts on that, John, because that does concern me.
Well, the problem with that, Moon, obviously, is somebody's going to file suit.
Yeah,
and
I understand.
if they win, and they got a pretty good argument to win, I mean, the law is pretty clear. It takes a 2/3 vote to raise taxes. Now, you may like that or dislike it, but it's the law.
Yep.
And if they try to go around it and they lose in the litigation, and I think they will, they got to give all the money back.
Yeah, but John, let me stop you for a second, though. We went through a process like this with Bobby Jindal, and you were against it, and you were challenging him, and the courts ruled in favor of Jindal, and it was a bad ruling, and that's what bothers me. It's if we could get a bad ruling on this. And you're right about everything you said, Senator Kennedy, but I don't want to go on that far. And I think the Republicans that vote for this are putting a death knell in their campaign, in my humble opinion.
Well, they're missing the larger issue. And I'm not telling you anything you don't know, Moon. There are two approaches to this. There's Governor Edwards' approach. He thinks our problem in Louisiana is that we tax too little. Mm-hmm. The other approach that many of the Republicans have is that, well, no, we spend too much. Now, the facts support the Republicans. We rank 43rd in America in per capita income. Our economy is shrinking.
Yep, 2 years.
Private sector job growth last year was about 40% of what it was nationally. But we ranked first in the South and 23rd in the country in state and local spending per capita.
Correct.
Now, any objective person will look at that and say, well, you don't need more taxes. You probably can't afford them. What you need to do is get control of your spending. It's gone from $16 billion in 2005 to $30 billion today.
Yep.
A good place to start, the legislative auditor, as you pointed out repeatedly on your show, has found what appears to be 80,000 people on the Medicaid rolls that don't qualify.
Good point.
And the legislative auditor is not a politician. He's a numbers cruncher. And he wants to go in and take a further look, and the governor says no. Well, that's half a $1 billion right there.
Yep. Good point.
And that's what we're coming down to. The other factor that they're ignoring, whether you like it or dislike it, the United States Supreme Court ruled yesterday that it's okay for a state, in effect, to tax your purchases on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay sales tax when you order some new hunting boots from LL Bean.
Okay.
In the past, you didn't.
Yep.
Now, they're going to do that, man. The state's going to do that. Governor Edwards is going to do that big time.
Mm-hmm.
And the opinion is clear as it can be. I don't believe it was a decision for the U.S. Supreme Court. How you feel about it? I think it's a decision for Congress, but it's now the law.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to mean, gosh, hundreds of millions of dollars for Louisiana.
Of course.
And I don't know why they're not taking that into consideration. They're saying, oh, well, the Supreme Court sent it back to the lower courts for further proceedings. That's what the Supreme Court always does.
Yep.
Let me tell you what the new law is. The new law is that if you buy something on the internet, you got to pay taxes. They're going to collect it. Period. End of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And Louisiana's going to get a whole lot more money from sales tax.
Yep. No doubt about it. United States.
And if I can make one
yes,
final
sir. Go ahead.
point, what I don't understand here, just from, and I'm trying to be as objective as I can. If Governor Edwards really wanted to be bipartisan, he would have said, okay, before I'm even going to ask you to talk about the tax code, I'm going to go in and scrub the budget. I'm going to see how many of these 86,000 Louisianians are cheating on Medicaid. I'm going to get rid of all the unfilled vacancies. We got people out there that the legislature is still appropriating money for jobs that haven't been filled in a long time. And then after he scrubbed the budget, he could go to the legislature and say, okay, I'm more serious about controlling spending. I want to talk about the tax code. But he didn't do that.
No.
And I will say this for the House Republicans. I don't know how this is going to come out. They'll probably, not the House Republicans, but the legislature will probably end up and give in and raise taxes. But I can tell you this, they'll be back for more.
Yep.
I've been in and out of government for 20 years. You can't fill up government. Its belly has no bottom, man.
Yep. John, let me go back to this Louisiana personal income growth. It's been negative, really. If you take out the amount of money that they're counting in transferring of money in through government, last year was 8.1. This year is 3.6. That tells me that's with the transferring of government. If you take that out, we have a negative in personal income growth, the only one in the country. And now it's went from 8.1 to 3.6. So I think it's gotten worse this year because that was just the first quarter. And yet, I want people to realize that because when Bell Edwards and them start running out there and say, we're growing. No, we're not. Our businesses aren't growing. That means our income can't be growing.
No, our gross domestic product last year was negative. And it was negative the year before. I mean, that's just a fact. Last year, we also lost 27,000 people. Most of them young people. If we keep losing young people, the average age in our state's going to be deceased. And they're going to Denver and Dallas and Atlanta. And it's so clear. Look at the states that are growing and look at the states that are shrinking. There's a reason that Texas and Florida are growing and California and New York are shrinking. And it's not the weather.
Yeah, good point. I think you're making a great point. I just know this can change. The people in Louisiana deserve better, and we're not getting it. The shrinking of the economy is directly related to the expansion of Medicaid, and you just touched upon which maybe is $500 million of wasted money that could be going to something else. And John, here's the problem: there are people that think Medicaid is free, and I'm for helping poor people, just like you, but not helping the people that don't need it. That's two different subjects, and we kind of tying them all into one, and that's why we're having money problems.
I've been begging the governor. He promised me a year ago he would do it, and he hadn't done it. We need a work requirement for welfare. If you're on Medicaid and you're between the ages of 18 and 55 and you're not disabled, if you can work, in order to keep your benefits, you ought to be required to work 20 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we will help you get a job. All we got to do is copy a program they just implemented in Kentucky. It's not like people even have to go out on their own. We'll get them a job. And then maybe someday you won't need Medicaid. Same thing for food stamps.
Hell, John, I was going to take that up 20 hours a week, but I only got to work 10 hours a week according to all my buddies. So I'm not taking that deal. I'm going to continue to work my 10 hours a week. But I know the point you're making, and he does not want to move on his voter base. He just doesn't want to move on them.
No, I mean, there's a lot of politics here on both sides, if we're going to be fair. But at the end of the day, you know, I've said this before, and I believe it. There are two groups now in government. There's one group thinks government can spend the money you earn, Moon, better than you can because the government is smarter than you. Now, there's another group that thinks people can spend the money they earn better than government can. And the first group believes in more free stuff. They want you to give more of your money to the government, and they'll decide how they want to redistribute it. And the other group, I'm part of that group, I think you are, believe in more freedom. You know, government is there to provide basic services, one of which is protect us. It's not there to run our lives. And the more money you take out of the private sector and put into government, the worse your economy is going to be. It's really pretty basic. And unless you were in the quad throwing the Frisbee during Economics 101, you're going to know that.
I think a lot of people must have been throwing the Frisbee. John, one other thing, comment on what's going on at the border. It's all attack Trump. All this stuff went on during Barack Obama. There's pictures of kids everywhere but Barack Obama. What do you think needs to happen? I know the PR and the media side has smashed Trump. There's a Rasmussen poll showing that people, they don't blame the president at all. They support the president and what he's doing. So the media and the slamming against Donald Trump is really backfired at this point.
Well, here's what's going on. And it's pretty simple until they made it complicated. Under President Obama, let me back up. We welcome about 1 million legal immigrants into our country every year. That's more than any other country in the world. We've got another 500,000 people who try to jump the line and come in illegally. Now, for 8 years under President Obama, when people were caught coming from across our southern border into our country illegally, they would be detained briefly and let go and told to come back for a court date. Well, they never came back for a court date, obviously. And that's why we have 10, 15 million folks in our country illegally. What President Trump has done, he said, look, I'm going to start enforcing the law. If y'all don't like the law, go change the law, Congress. But if you come across the border and you're caught, you're going to be prosecuted. First time is a misdemeanor, second time is a felony. Now, in most cases, since the president's been doing that, the people plead guilty. We put them on a bus, put them on a airplane. We send them back to the country of origin. But we don't let them go, because once you let them go, they're not going to show up for court.
Yeah.
The mistake I think he made, and he realizes it, he fixed it. Normally, when you go into a secure facility like a jail or a detention center, you're not allowed to take your kids with you. If I go rob a liquor store tomorrow and I have a baby at home, they're going to put me in jail, but I can't bring my baby to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so the president applied the same rule for illegal immigrants. And it was a mistake. I said it was a mistake. I said, you can just don't separate the kids from their mom and dad. They can be housed in the detention facility. We'll have to rearrange some of our physical plant, but it can be done. And he fixed that. But what his opponents, his critics want him to do is go back to the old way, where when people got caught, they were told, don't do it again. We're going to give you a court date. We're going to let you go. And they never showed up. And that's how we got 15 million people in our country who aren't supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the bottom line. And, the president's getting no credit for it, but it's pretty rare that a president says, I made a mistake. I got it wrong here. I shouldn't have separated the kids, but I'm going to fix it.
Did they separate kids under Barack Obama?
Oh, yes.
Yes, but you know what? No pictures. Nobody ever talked about that. Obama wasn't in Time magazine standing over a little kid, which, by the way, that kid in that picture was never separated from the parents. Never. That kid was totally photo op.
But President Obama, after a while, didn't have to separate the kids from their parents because he can let them all go.
I know. He let them all in, then he let them all go.
And all it does is send a lot of the folks coming in illegally, jumping the line, or some are still coming from our neighbor to the south, Mexico, but a lot of them are coming from Central America, further south. And when the word goes out, if you make it across and you get caught and you're let go, the word goes forth. Come on in.
Yeah.
And I don't know a single country in the world that doesn't enforce its border laws.
Nope.
I mean, you can't. It's a matter of national security. You can't not enforce them. And so the reporting has been, a lot of it's been inaccurate, in my opinion.
No. Well, I expect that. Anything to make Trump look bad, that's what they're going to do, and they don't care what the truth is. The media's been gone. They're a bunch of Looney Tunes, and it's a shame. John, I know you got to go. Go ahead.
Thanks, man. I was just going to say, look, look at the president's accomplishments. Economy, best I've seen it in a long time, except in Louisiana, best in 30 years.
Yep.
Confirming conservative judges, rolling back rules and regulations, new health care program for veterans. Our enemies across the world respect us. I know some people, President Trump's unconventional, and some people don't like him, and I get that, but judge him by his accomplishments. And if you do, are we better off today, 17 months since the president's been president? I think by any objective standard, you have to say yes.
Yep.
I don't remember the last time we enforced our immigration laws. Finally, somebody's doing it.
Yep. Good point. All right. We'll do it again, John. Good luck. Thank you, State. That's United States Senator John Kennedy. We'll take a break. Come right back. Your calls are welcome. It's Open Forum Friday. We'll be right back. Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has that hotline. All right. Phone lines. Quick segment right here. Went a little long with John. Jack in Shreveport. Go, Jack.
Okay, man. I have a song for you for Bill Edwards.
A song?
A song to put on your program. I'm the Great Pretender.
I'm the Great Pretender. I know, that's little Elvis. Is that right?
What? Whatever. I don't know.
I thought Elvis sung that. If I'm wrong, somebody will correct me really quick. But he is a great pretender, pretending to be something he's not. I'll see if Brandon can pull that when we come back.
Man, that's the Platters.
The Hooters?
The Platters.
I think Elvis sung that too. Huh?
That is the Platters.
Did Elvis say it? What?
See, Bernie says that's the Platters. Yeah.
The Platters. Let me ask you something. What are we eating? What we eating this time on the Platters? We'll be right back.
Come on. Oh man.
Ooh. Come on, Elvis. I know you're in there somewhere.
Elvis is not in this one.
Actually, I was right and wrong. I was wrong about who. Now, Brandon, now that it's played, and by the way, great thing to play for Bill Edwards and Jay Dorn, the co-governorship. But Elvis did sing it some. And so I was somewhat right.
Well, I sing it some too, but you know.
But I didn't say Brandon Como. But if you want me to say that's the Platters and Brandon Como, I'll do that. Cause I'm a nice guy. You know. Brandon, that song came out, I believe, before both of us was born. What's the year?
1955.
I was born in 61. Now, at least
you
got
weren't
that
even
right.
a thought yet, then.
I was not even a thought at all. Some people say I'm not a thought now, but that's fine. 844-766-6607. Hickson has it hotline. By the way, national story. Why this starved town thinks car startup Elio Motors took it for a ride. Oh, you think? 5 years ago, Brandon, they were supposed to be up and running. as a picture of a cartoon of a Elio Motors vehicle driving down the road, and then chained is the Caddo Parish logo dragging on the ground. And Brandon, I hate to say I told you so, but I did. I told him about the plan in Monroe. By the way, I think that building's being tore down now. If that's Mr. James Davison place, that's smart to do. Now he can have a new property if somebody wants to move in. I don't think they're going to move in there unless they get incentives. That's what happens in our state, unfortunately. You got to have incentives to come here. But anyway, they do a whole story on Elio Motors and how they use the Caddo Parish, which is a shame for Caddo Parish. You know, and the guy keeps saying it's coming. Elio Motors says he needs to raise $376 million to start making cars. That's kind of low, Brandon. Production isn't expected to start in 2019. So that's 2013. They told us about it, and now they're saying production in 2019. And it's not coming. Just think if you've been waiting around because the politicians, Bobby Jindal, all those elected officials went cut the rope. They went cut the, cut the ribbon. That never happened. Paul Elio himself and Lichter, who has reportedly invested $20 million in debt and equity in the company, has a 30% stake in Elio Motors. They don't have any money. Nobody's invested in this, and this is exactly what I said would happen. And it's exactly, nobody wanted this. There were people that put down $1,000 for non-refundable deposits in 2014, Brandon. This one gentleman filed a suit in Texas small claim courts against the company, alleging he committed fraud and breached his contract with them. Now they're not going to go bankrupt because every day they're open, they're collecting more reservations for something they never produced. A judge dismissed his claim in June, but he vowed to appeal. On their website, they're acting like this is a sure thing, when they really need to put a disclaimer that you have a 1 in a million chance of getting this. And this is bad publicity for cattle in Louisiana. And it's about business. And it's about government, Caddo Parish officials. And what did they do? They promised the people and didn't deliver like they normally do. So, it's not happening. Never was going to happen. It's what's sad. How come when I was living in Monroe, I could see it from Monroe, Brandon, but they couldn't see it in Caddo? Promising these jobs. How could I see what was happening in Monroe at that car plant that wasn't coming? Nobody else could see it. Never forget some people, some chamber types. You ought to not be negative. I said, I'm not negative at all. So I'm just deal with reality. You're trying to get a plant that's got to have state tax money, local tax money, federal tax money. And, it never was coming. And it's a shame because it gave people false hope. And that's what kind of made me mad. Why the politicians want to give people false hope. Democrats have been giving false hope to their voters for a long, long time, and they're still giving false hope. They had Barack Obama in there, and inner cities never moved 1 inch closer to being better. Looks like, Brandon, the legislature, they look like a 0.4 vote before lunch is what they're going to vote on, which is Paula Davis's bill.
Well, I was just reading where the State House is supposed to meet at 9:30, but the chamber is relatively empty because they've been doing behind-the-scenes negotiations.
Oh, yeah. There's probably people like Mark Mo Money, Mo Taxes Abraham. I'm sure he's working the floor and begging people to vote for taxes. You know. I'm sure he's out there working them hard. Julie Stokes working them hard. I'm sure all that's out there. The Platters, man. Platters, man. I know that. Dang it, I know it. It's been proven. Elvis did sing it some. That's what I remembered. I don't know why I remembered Elvis, but the Platters, I said I was wrong. I even told Brandon I was wrong. He was shocked.
About time you admit it.
Brandon said, you will say you're wrong? He said, I bet you don't say that on the air. Now, said it on the air. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Hey, don't forget, if you're thinking about eating out for lunch or supper tonight, go to Shucks. Because I'm telling you what, if you want a great meal and a great atmosphere and a great time, Shucks is the place to go. I know they listen. Some of my buddies are coming in for baseball games. A lot of them come and play in the Lafayette area this weekend. Take the time and go to Shucks for lunch or supper Friday or Saturday, and then you call me and let me know what you think about it. Bert and David and the gang, they do what a wonderful job, and you're going to have a lot of fun with them. I mean, I wish Kathy Fuqua would take me to eat tonight, but I know she won't, because she never does. Shucks in Abbeville, short drive. They will accommodate multiple people. Call them and tell them, hey, we got a group of 20. We got a group of 20, soccer, baseball, basketball, whatever. Try it and tell me what you think when it's all said and done. You're going to love the great taste of Shucks, and the atmosphere is just as good as the food. All right. Somebody writes, damn old men always think they're right, from a woman who's 5 years older than me. Let's go to Paul in Natchitoches. Paul, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Moon. This Green Tech, Helio, the car company in Monroe, that's a repackaged scam that these people have been running in the name of climate change and producing a good, clean, low-energy car. The Green Tech thing is the interesting one that everybody needs to go look at. This is the one that Haley Barbour, the governor of Virginia, was involved in. Kathleen Blanco's name was even tied to that thing. Hillary Clinton's brother and Bill Clinton were in on that thing. They were literally making more money selling citizenship to Chinese billionaires than they were ever producing a car. But everybody was in on that scam, by the way. So, I don't know what the answer is to this, but the
scam, though, Paul, the biggest part of the scam, global warming's a joke. They've been writing articles every day in New Orleans. Bugs are getting worse. Man, bugs have been bad. I remember time it's getting warmer. In summer it always does. Anyway, point. By the way, we had a cold winter last year.
Involved in the one in Monroe? Yeah, we had cold weather, we have hot weather, we have rainy weather.
And by the way, if we never did an all product again, we still gonna have cold weather, hot weather, rainy weather, snow weather. We're gonna have too much rain, not enough rain, floods, not enough. We're gonna always have that because we always have.
Yeah, and I know you had the guy on this morning from the windmill people.
Yeah. I
still want somebody to come on and explain to me how the math works on that, because everything I've ever read said that by the time you do all the cost of steel, the energy it takes to make the windmills, you can't make them come out, that electricity come out the other end. I'll
say this. It's going to be interesting because it hadn't been done here, but I think, and Brandon, I could be wrong, you were listening too, I don't think the windmills are here. I think we get energy from out of Oklahoma. So I got to see how all that works, because that's not I don't consider myself to have expertise in anything, but I definitely don't have it in that.
Well, I need somebody to explain to me, because everything I've read said that that doesn't work yet. If it did, they'd be sticking in windmills everywhere. So, I know if it ain't without the government subsidies.
Somebody called and said it kills ducks and all that stuff, and I thought, well, if it does, every day I ease out there, pick me up a couple of ducks. Pick me up a couple of ducks and eat it, and I'm in good shape.
This is way out. This is western Oklahoma, so this is out there where there are no trees or nothing and not a whole lot of water. So I don't think the ducks are going to have much of an issue with them. Now, if they settle down there in the marsh, you might have a problem.
If you put them in the marsh, there'll be people right out there in the boat and pick them up something to eat and drive back in every day. Anyway, got to run.
Have a good one.
All right, Paul, thanks for the call. All right, last break of the day for the weekend. Hup, hup, hup.
That's what you were thinking of, weren't you? Return to Sender, Elvis.
He played Pretender, too, I promise you. And even Bernie said he did. Return to sender. I remember that too.
Yeah.
That's a
You
pretty
sure you
good.
didn't get those
That was a
confused?
pretty good. You want me to sing that one too?
No.
You know, they say a lot of people think I had better looks than Elvis, but I couldn't sing quite good.
Moon,
as him.
if I gotta take a pay cut to turn your mic down not to sing, I'll take it.
We better get the heck out of here, pay some bills. We got to be right back. He's so special. Hi, y'all all. Welcome to the Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hickson has a hotline. Let me back up before we go back to the phone lines. This is how serious I am about this. There is for people may be just joining us, there is a Senate concurrent resolution number 9. This is by Morrell and Johnny Boy Alario, you know, the magician, the grown up in the room. They're trying to go around you and me. They're trying to go around the Constitution. They're trying to go around our families, the moral and ethics of our state. They're trying to pass a House concurrent resolution with a majority vote that would keep the 1 cent sales tax intact 14 months than they told us it would do, and that is 100% against our Constitution and everything else we stand for. Well, you must call your senators, Republicans especially, and tell them you cannot vote for this. You cannot be that weak. You cannot smash the taxpayers and the business people like that anymore. And I'm telling you, it's there. And they're saying they can pass it with a majority vote. I'm telling you, that is so unconstitutional, it's not even close. You better call your Republicans, especially in the Senate and the House, and tell them you do not want this. All right. Paul in Sherrington. How you doing, Paul?
I'm doing great, Moon. You said you wasn't an expert in nothing.
Nothing.
But I used to have a coworker. The man was very smart. He'd always say, I know a little bit about a whole lot of things, but I don't know a whole lot about nothing.
That sounds like me.
So I guess you would fall in that category, Moon.
I fall in that category, and I'm proud of it. Hey, it's better than...
It's very funny. Yeah, I know a little bit about a whole lot, but I don't know a whole lot about nothing.
Well, I'm telling you, I'd rather be honest in who I am than be a big hypocrite and act like I'm so smart and I know everything, and I don't know as much as I've led on to be, and that's elected official.
That's why you got a great audience.
Well, the elected official gets elected and knows everything about health care. It knows everything about budgets. It knows everything about taxes. They don't. They don't know any more than the next person that would have gone there. So anyway, all right, Paul, got to run. Appreciate the call. Oh, Lord. The one, the only. Cornelius. How you doing, Cornelius?
Hey, Madman Moon, boy, I tell you, the handler, he said he's got to handle you, Moon. He can't let you go off with that false information. Somebody call back and say, give him all that.
Yeah, my handlers, I'm starting to not enjoy this abuse I'm getting. Because it's coming rapidly. I already told him I was married. He didn't listen to me. And by the way, he never took none of my marriage advice either.
Oh, Moon, you're awful, Moon. You're awful.
You know, the other day, I had to get my dryer fixed, and the guy that came to fix the dryer, as soon as I walk out to greet him, he says, "It's the handler."
Oh, no.
Cornelius, your influence is spreading throughout the Acadiana area.
You forgot to tell me that.
No, I did forget to tell you that. Yeah, it's true.
My God. Go ahead, Cornelius. What you got?
Yeah. We got a hometown hero back in town named Jalen Richard. He's with the Oakland Raiders and stuff, and he's having a big youth camp here in Alexandria, Louisiana at Peabody High School, not Pine, but Peabody High School tomorrow morning. It's free for all kids and stuff, just to learn some football skills and stuff. But tonight, Jalen Richard and some of his NFL friends and stuff will be at the Cornerstone Lounge at 2211 North MacArthur Drive in Alexandria, Louisiana. And that starts at 8 o'clock. So they'll have a great meet and greet and sign autographs and stuff. And I tell you, Moon, I wish you could have be here to meet him and stuff, but I know you're tied up, in Lafayette.
No, I'm ball gaming tonight, so to see.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I know you tied up with Walker and stuff.
That's a pretty sweet promotion they've put together for Whit Richard, though. I'm looking at the poster right now where it's got some action shots of him in his Raiders uniform and everything. It's pretty cool.
Yep. But anyway, fellas, thank you so much, and God bless you, Moon. I hope Walker wins.
All right, man. Appreciate the call. Supreme Court says warrant necessary for phone location data and win for privacy. U.S. justices say law enforcement needs a warrant to follow your digital footprint. You heard that, Brandon? Mm-hmm. If Barack Obama was the president, think about what they did with the IRS and the Justice Department. That's all I'm saying.
Well, this has been talked about for a little while with the advances in technology, with Fitbits and even with pacemakers. And so this was, I mean, look, this is the information that on the other side could have been used to catch criminals and such. Yeah. But again, for people that are worried about the increasing loss of privacy, I understand the argument there too.
Well, but listen, they overreach. They did that when Bush did all the stuff that they did after 9/11. And what happens is there's reasons to go do it and there's reasons not. And you just can't go after people. And that's what's happening in this country. We just go after people. Social media has become ridiculous of just go after people. You know, don't even have the facts and the information, just go after people. That's ridiculous. By the way, girl on Time cover was never separated from mother. The one where they put Trump looking at the little girl crying, which is about slamming Trump 100%. That wasn't even the same person. Matter of fact, they interviewed the dad, said, we never got lost contact with our baby. But see, this is a Photoshop. The Photoshop to hurt Trump by the press. The Rasmussen poll say parents to blame for border crisis, not government. 54% they think the parents are more to blame for breaking the law, and they are. It's not Trump. Trump's winning every. See, Brandon, as long as they keep doing this, the Trump people are now going, oh, I can't wait to vote for him again. That's just a fact. They just can't wait. 35% said Trump's to blame. Further, 54% of voting Americans agree with President Trump's assertion the United States will not be a migrant camp and will not be a refugee holding facility. It won't be. Barack would take them in and spread them out through the country. Once again, a man that helped run this country tried to run it single-handedly. But his voters don't understand that because you can't explain it to them. I don't know if you can't explain it to them or they're not willing to learn. Obama cyber chief confirms stand-down order against the Russian cyber attacks. They knew Russia was trying to get involved in elections, and Obama's people said, stand back, stand down, leave it alone, don't go there. Not surprising to me once again. Trump now endorses, this is a Greg Hilburn article, I would check it 3 or 4 times. Trump endorses Clay Higgins for re-election. President Donald Trump endorsed freshman Acadiana Congressman Clay Higgins for re-election. So, there it is. I don't see how they beat him.
We'll have more on that in the 11 o'clock newscast.
Oh, do you?
All the KPL listeners, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Derek Albert, KPL's Derek Albert's been following
Keep an eye on the legislature and see if Mo Taxes Abraham passes taxes. Anybody doubt what Rob Shadwan's going to do when a new tax bill comes up? Anybody?
I mean, I can.
You missed it. We got to go.
I can vote for a half a penny. I can vote for 4/10. I'm in.
Rob Shadwan, he's in. Well, Rob, we already knew that. You don't even have to say that again. See you on Monday.